personally looking forward to most about portraying this awesome character?
I'm honestly just looking forward to honestly the fights. I saw how dynamic the fighting is now. How there's all the effects and all these like brand new animations and more smoother animations than the last film. I'm honestly just looking forward to the fighting scenes.
When you were doing the lines for Electro, what were some things that you tried to get right, whether it be from the perspective of the comics, or the perspective of the movies, which had Jamie Foxx portraying the character? Who did you take inspiration from?
I took a lot of inspiration from Spider-Man PS4. In the kind of Italian New York voice, mixed with just a bunch of rumbling in the voice, because Electro always, it feels like he's kind of in pain from all the electricity going through his body. So just a lot of Spider-Man PS4.
Now, when you were playing this character, the relationship between the relationship between Michael and Electro, it's completely different than anything we've ever seen before. What do you think? What do you think? We're gonna see between the connections of the villains in the crime syndicate. What are you looking forward to most about that?
I'm looking forward to just the character dynamics of villains talking to each other, two egos colliding in a way, you know what I mean? Like just them talking and just having conversations and maybe fighting each other. You never know. I'm just looking forward to all of the character dynamics.
Now we're gonna move on to the next character that you're gonna be playing, which is the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Stark. So when you first got the news that, and trust me, guys, we had some pretty notable names going for this role, but you were the one that beat them all out. How did it feel when you got the news you were going to be playing Tony Stark?
And it was pretty nice. I went to just just think about it for a second. It was just a amazing call up, and it was just really nice to see.
Now, obviously, in this canonical universe, the character of Tony Stark is not Iron Man just yet. We saw in the first movie. There's a little bit of a teaser that Captain America has come, but in this movie, Tony is still that arrogant businessman, and without revealing too much, he will be involved somewhat in that crime syndicate. So, how did you go about playing this arrogant younger side of Tony Stark that we really haven't seen in the big screen in a while?
Well, first I wanted him to show no really signs of any like remorse. He needs to be a businessman. That comes first, and that's who he was before he became. He needed to be a businessman, and if something didn't work out, then we're cutting it off right there. It's just you have to be stern, and you have to be kind of comedic, but at the same time keep it down, and you just have to be really sarcastic.
What are you looking forward to most in terms of, again, because you're playing, you're essentially you're really on the kind of crime level. Tony Stark has this really interesting relationship with Harry Osborn in this next film. How did you try to portray this character, and how do you feel about the villains? How do you feel about being more interconnected with the villains in this movie in comparison to the first one, where you were really just a background character for that main part, where my favorite to this day is still my favorite part of the movie when when the guy slaps Peter's head and says, "Get out of the way, Parker." Still my favorite part of the movie. But again, you had to become way more serious playing these villains and being more interconnected. Now, how do you feel about playing more of a serious character, and what do you look forward to most with your interactions with everyone else in the movie?
Well, starting at Roblania Spider-Man 1, when I first started, it felt like there wasn't much pressure. Kept the pressure was kept low. You know what I mean? It was just a background character just to serve some comedic timing, and it was great. But when you step up to a character like Tony Stark or Electro, you have to add a little bit more dynamic into the voice. There has to be conflict, and I feel like personally I did very good in both those departments. But you know, it was just you have to take it an extra step. You gotta be a little bit more serious. You gotta be way more. You gotta do a little bit more method acting to people like this.
So we also talked about that preview exclusive that we just played on this live stream a few moments ago. We saw that revitalized animation, that revitalized fighting sequence. We saw how big of a change this second film is in terms of its production quality. What are you looking forward to the most? It doesn't have to be about production, but what are you looking forward to the most about Roblania Spider-Man 2?
I'm looking forward to just seeing Peter struggle with the brand new symbiote. I really want to see how he struggles and how the character dynamics and I just really want to see all of the interconnectivity between all the characters and how they do their thing. You know what I mean?
And
I'm looking forward to the story. Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay, my last question. My last question has to be: are there any bold predictions that you want to make for RSM2?
Yeah. Electro is putting Spider-Man in the grave.
Interesting. Okay.